good morning, and welcome to Transforming Earth Together. And I have decided to start this teaching based on, to expand on the dissertation that I wrote when I received my doctorate degree. And the topic was advancing the evolution of human potential and spirit consciousness in pursuit of mind mastery. I have been on this journey for a very long time and seeking answers. I have searched, researched, looked for anywhere, every book I can get my hand on, every book, not just book, but movies and everything. So I thought, well, maybe if I get a little deeper into this. And so this is why I pursued a degree in metaphysical science. Was that once I had the degree, I did nothing with it. And I kind of let it sit there because I'm also an entrepreneur and I'm a magazine publisher and I was in so many different things. But the call kept coming. It kept tugging and tugging and tugging at me. And um, and finally, through other source, obviously, sometimes when you don't listen to your own message, then source is going to send someone else, and source did, and send a really close friend of mine who just recently made a comment, which is a comment I've heard before. Chose to not listen, but this time it really resonated. This time it really connected. And I thought, okay, what is it that you want me to do? And I sat there, I listened, and here I am. And I will share my story with you. But first, I think let us sync up our energies. Let us take a moment to connect with our higher self, with the universe. I am going to read a little prayer treatment from my prayer treatment book for health, wealth, peace, and joy so that we can synchronize and have a prayer, affirmation prayer for the healing and well being of our bodies. So get comfortable. If you're sitting up, plant both feet on the floor, or you can cross it. Put your hands on your lap, facing up, or you could put one on your heart chakra and one under your navel because we're doing this prayer for your body. Okay, so let's take a deep breath. I want you to close your eyes gently. Make sure you're in a nice, comfortable place. And we're going to start our prayer right now. I dedicate this day to God within me, the true self of my being. It is the power of God working through me that lives in me this day. I turn away from the outer world that surrounds me so that I may enter the quietude, solitude of my inner being, a world without beginning or end. I send love, peace, and blessings to all parts of my body, every organ, every skin surface, every cell, and every nucleus within me. I am whole. I am healed. I am healthy. I am complete. My mind, which is in direct communication with the God power presence within me, is already at work healing me from the inside out, from the top of my head to the sole of my feet, to the inner bright light dwelling inside me, filling all space and crevices within each cell of my body, healing, adjusting, restoring to the perfect natural rhythm intended by the great designer of the universe. expressing perfect health in my body. If a particular part of my body needs healing at this moment, I send that bright, radiant light of healing energy to all active cells in that area, readjusting the energy flow and the energy activity into perfect harmony, aligning with the universe, with nature, and with God. And so I move with the creative process within me. As the creative process flows through me, I open my soul to that flow that affects all areas, all levels of my mind exist as multidimensional beings, bringing healing to any trauma, any karma, or anything else that exists within me that needs healing and energy adjustment. Right here, right now, that light lives within me in perfect harmony, bringing me perfect health. And as I feel this now, mentally, physically, and spiritually, my soul is at peace. My soul is in a state of divine harmony. Around my body is an aura of pure, white, beaming, Christ like light, protecting my body from any disruption from exterior sources, leaving me healthy and whole. I am as perfect in physical body and mind as the creative presence of the universe dwelling within me. I am still, I am present, I am one with the universal God mind. For this realization and acceptance of healing, health, wholeness, and all levels of my beingness. For this, I give thanks. I let it be so, and so it is. And you may slowly open your eyes. And thank you for the moment of pure energy healing coming into our bodies so we can have a nice, peaceful Sunday and prepare us for a new week. So, my journey, as I said, began really early on with the story of my guardian angel. For as young as I can remember, I'm maybe going back to toddler. I've always had a presence of this angel, this presence with me. And very early on, that angel became my first teacher. I listened, I followed the rules only because what I realized is when I got this message, do something this way or do it that way, and I didn't, things didn't work out so well for me. But once I finally started listening to this voice that was constantly talking to me, and I paid attention, like really true attention, um, things started to work out. So I became a very obedient student. And that continued with me practically for the rest of my life. And, I've had people ask me, what did you want to be when you grow up? Truth is, I never knew because I never thought about it. I literally listened and waited for the message. And based on what that was, is where I made my decisions. Most of my decisions and choices are based on what the next step is. Where am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? And um, it's just been this ongoing journey. So at a very young age, and I cannot remember exactly. I just knew it was very young because I was still walking around in my underwear because I had nothing to hide. But I'm gonna say maybe 7, 8, 9. I don't know, somewhere around there. I knew I was young, and I was sitting in the back porch at my house, and I just sat there, and I looked up into the sky and started to imagine what is universe, what is infinite. Like I saw myself going and going and going and going, and you could picture, of course, we know what the universe looks like. We know the moon, the stars, we see that, but we can't even fathom what it's like to just keep going. I mean, we live in a world filled with fences, boundaries, borders. We're used to containment. We know there's a deadline. There's something there. There's some kind of a ending. But infinity? What's infinity? How is that never ending? And by understanding that never ending infinity, we also understand our own journey because we also are never ending. And once we get that, once you grasp the concept of infinity, of never ending, we start changing our mindset. And this is where, you know, the question starts. So as I'm sitting there and I'm looking into the sky, I literally overwhelmed myself. I was completely overwhelmed because I just couldn't grasp it. And so I asked a very important question that everyone, I think, at some point in their life has asked. Why? Why? Why are we here? What are we doing? How is this working? What am I supposed to do? Where am I? What is this all about? It couldn't possibly be just, born, grow up, get old, die. There's got to be more to it, right? We all know there's got to be more. It just cannot be that simple. It cannot be, there's got to be a use for us coming here, generation after generation. And, we will get deeper into the reincarnation part of that, which turns into why, the infinity part. But so once I started asking that why, like, what's going on? Why? And I'm like, I want an answer. And I want an answer now, like now. And my angel was like, nope, not now, not yet. And I thought, oh, not yet? Okay, so there is an answer. All right, so I need to be patient and be that obedient student. And that's pretty much what I started doing. But before that, I decided to make a pact with God. I said I was going to make an agreement at that very moment. As young as I was going to make a pact with God. And I turned to God and I said, God, I know I'm here for a very specific reason. I know this is not a coincidence. I know there is something that I need to do that is very important. So at this moment, I am asking that you bless me, that you keep me healthy, that you guide me, keep me safe, and mostly give me the time so that I can accomplish whatever it is that you have planned for me, so that you can manifest it, so that you can manifest it through me, my body, my mind, the reason I'm here, because I know I'm here to manifest on his behalf, his, her, whatever, universe, the source. So, with that pact, I thought, All right, so now I have to be patient. I have to do my part. So to me, my part was seeking information, going after the knowledge, researching, reading, asking questions. And what I was expecting was at some point saying, here it is, here's what you're supposed to do. But the years kept going, the years kept going. And it took a while for that answer to show up. So the interesting thing was that pact, I kept getting reminders during my lifetime. And the reminders were I had some very miraculous situations that happened to me. The moment when I thought, oh, wow, this is it? Like, really, this is it? I mean, I had a good run, but am I going to die this young? Wow. I really didn't think I was going to die this young. I really thought I had more time on earth. That one incident, one of them, but that one particular one was, I think I was about 19. And that's what I thought. Wow, I'm going to die this young. This is it. And at that moment, there is this eerie stillness that comes over. I'm talking from my own personal experience. This eerie sense of peace that comes over me, and it's quiet, and I don't hear nothing, I don't see nothing. And the weird part is that my mind instantly thinks, oh, my poor mom, she's going to be so sad. Or the people closest to me, they're going to be sad. And I'm feeling bad for them feeling sad because I'm going to die. I'm ready to cross over. And, but the interesting thing is, I would say a very short gratitude thank you for this opportunity. And then I would summon my angel. I would call my angel and say, can you please stay here close to me and, just keep me company as I cross over? And, try to make it without too much pain, of course. I don't want to pain, but I guess I'm always a joker right up to the end, just like my dad. But I would say, just stay close to me as I cross over and, just make it as painless as possible. And at that moment, something would happen and I would be granted more time on this earth. And I will go a little deeper into those stories because they each deserve a moment of retrospect and attention. But I will talk about those at a different time later on. But at that moment that I've been spared my life, that I'm still here, is when I would think, aha, I have a pact that still needs to be fulfilled. And that's my reason for still being here. So, of course, I worked harder and spent more time trying to figure out this path that I'm on. And I grew up in a household where, it was more Catholic. I went to Catholic school, um, you know, baptism, confirmation, communion, the works, studied the Bible, and also went into the Jehovah Witness because I had family in the Jehovah Witness practice. So I used to go to their uh, church and to the Kingdom Hall, and I would study the Bible with them as well. And but each time I kept feeling that something was missing, and I couldn't figure out that missing piece. So I moved into Christianity, of course, against my mom's, you know, choices, because we were born Catholic and you're supposed to stay Catholic. But I knew very early on something was not right, something was not connecting, and I needed to connect these dots. And so then I moved into Christianity, and even there, the dots were not connecting for me. And I still couldn't figure it out. But I guess this is part of the journey. It's why we're here. We're learning and adding new knowledge, new wisdom. When I got to college, I took a history class on world religion. And that's when I really got that first aha insight of other modalities. That's when I learned about Confucius, Taoism, Buddhism. Um, and at that moment, I thought, okay, this is different type of teaching. This teaching is more about me and going in and knowing that there's more out there. And that's where that disconnect was happening for me. I knew there was more, but the other religions, organized religions, let's call it organized religion, did not meet me where I needed to be. So once I got into understanding the Eastern philosophy and how they looked at the universe and existence and the essence of our being, it started to open up a different part of my mind. That started to make more sense. That felt more like this is what this is the message I've been receiving. I was just being contradicted from what I was being taught as a kid. And so as we moved on, I decided, okay, so let's keep finding the answers because the answers are there. But who's going to bring me these answers? That's where I was a bit lost. I never told anyone that I had a guardian angel when I was a child, not even my friends, let alone adults, because I understand that there are children that talks about having an imaginary friend. I knew this present was not just a friend. I knew it was an angel that came to protect me. I knew it was about protection, keeping me safe, keeping me guided. All this time, I thought it was about my physical security and safety. But what I learned later on is it was to keep my mind open and connected to the universe because as children, we are indoctrinated to follow the societal rules. And you have to do what we say, when we say it, how we say it. And as a kid, I was known as this very quiet child at home. So at home, I was known as this quiet child that never, ruffled the feathers, just smiling all the time, didn't talk too much. And my mom goes to school for Parents' Day, and the teacher says to her, Karina does well in school, but we cannot get her to shut up. And my mom goes, who are you talking about? Karina? And she goes, yeah, Karina never shuts up. She doesn't stop talking. And she's like, well, that's not the child I know because at home, she's quiet. Now, remember, I come from the generation from where children are meant to be seen, not heard. So, of course, I learned to be quiet at home. But it's not my nature. My nature is to have fun and to play and just have a good time. So that shows you how we have these two personalities that we at some point can get very confusing. And we have to figure out who am I in the long run and what's my journey and what am I supposed to do with it. So I I'm on this path, what I call becoming a earth spirit guide, because we as spirit guides have two missions. And again, we will get into that because that's a whole conversation on its own. But I've become one of those people who I'm not much of a complainer. I don't keep grudges. I forgive people and move on. I give people the benefit of the doubt, sometimes too many times. And like, because I could see the hurt, I could see the trauma, I could see the disconnect. And like Jesus once said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And that is true. They have not realized why they're here and what their mission is while they're here. So, my question to you, do you know why you're here? Do you know what your mission is? Do you know what your soul came here to accomplish? Are you aware that once you figure that out and you can align with your soul's mission, that all the answers will come to you step by step by step? It just unravels and it starts making so much sense. So, the question you should always ask yourself is why? Why am I here? What is my mission? What does Source, God, Universe wants me to do while I'm here? You see, when I wrote my thesis for my master's degree, it was based on thinking, and it was based on Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Rich, Wallace D. Wattles, As a Man Thinketh, uh, like all of them, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Michael Beckwith, all of them, all of the teachings. And remember, they wrote these books 100 years ago, but the teachings were all the same. Man does not think for themselves anymore. When we gave up thinking, we gave up our independence. We allow others to think for us. In the evolution of the human potential, we got to this space where we did ask the question, why are we here? And what are we supposed to do? But we gave it up to the science department. And the science department says we are going to do everything we can to figure out why we're here. What's this universe thing? What's this infinite thing? And while we do that, you guys go about living your own life. So we got into the industrial era, and the industrial era is about uh, economy, it's about uh, money and business and, you know, living a comfortable life. This is when comfort became very comfort was part of that, getting the nice house and the nice car and the appliances. And if you go back to the commercials from the 50s and 60s, when they started coming out with the refrigerator and then the air conditioning. So we got caught up in the mundane and to this in this life and to making our life comfortable. And we kind of gave up the spiritual part of our existence. But we're coming back to that space. We're coming back to the space of, okay, now that we have the time, because part, the whole point of the evolution of humanity is to get us to a place where we have time, time to go inwards, time to meditate, time to commune with our higher self, time to create more positivity in this world, more love, more honesty, more harmony, ease, getting rid of the negative stuff, the envy, the anger, the hatred, the war. The, we need to shift perspective, but in here first, not out there first. It needs to start here. So the evolution part of humanity and and our experiences is so that we eventually come to that point that we have the time that we could go in, as long as we are struggling, because we live, most of us are in a state of constant panic, constant survival mode, constant, like, feeling like we're drowning because it's about making the money, paying the bills, keeping up with the Jonases. It's this constant go, 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 go. There's no time to be still, to be quiet, to be at ease. And we need to work towards finding that space, because once you realize that that's all you need, that 20 minutes in the morning of meditation changes your whole day. And I can't stress enough how true that is. It slows down time, it gives you clarity, it gives you direction. You get information like I used to get from my angel. Um, I now understand that that was intuition as well. My intuition kicked in at a very young age, and I listened and I followed, and every single step brought me to this very specific place. And, like I said, I've been in so many other stuff, but at some point I realized, because the message I was waiting for was, hey, Karina, remember that pact we made when you were a little kid? This is it. And I thought, oh, there isn't a specific it. My whole life journey is the pact. My life of experience, of the traumas I went through, the broken hearts, the disappointments, the friendships, the yeah, all of that is the pact we made. And the whole point is so that at this moment, I could sit right here and share that life experience with you, hoping, wishing that I can reach you where you need to be at this moment. That whatever that is that you need, that there are people out there exactly where you're at, maybe a step ahead, maybe a step behind. We are all teachers and students at the same time. We're constantly learning and passing the knowledge on and learning more. And then, so we're always between being a teacher and a student. And when we stop learning, when we stop creating, when we stop adding on more knowledge, more wisdom, more understanding, we stop our own growth. And when we stop our growth, it doesn't just stop our spiritual growth, it stops everything. It stops prosperity, it stops abundance, it stops your amazing relationship with any and everyone. Connecting, finding time, finding that peace always starts internally. There's no other way. As much as we would love it to not be this way, when we ask why is this happening and why, it is very important to go in and ask, why am I attracting that? What is it that I'm thinking, feeling, or wanting, or lacking that is making me manifest what's happening out there? Out there is like a projection. The movie projector is in here, but if we put the wrong movie in, it's going to project a whole different story out there. So it all goes back again. Mind mastery is not just about controlling your mind, it's about understanding how, by going in, finding, better said, listening to what that mind, that voice that constantly talking in our heads, what is it saying? And are you acknowledging it or are you negating it? You see, that's the difference. That's where the difference shows up when you are not aware of what your mind is saying. When your mind is creating, or your conscious mind is making up its own stories, and whatever happens on the outside, and you're thinking, well, why would I ask for something like that? Why would I want something bad to happen to me or to someone I love? But subconsciously, we are thinking certain things, maybe from a message we heard from someone else, or something, or living in that constant fear. You know, we all grew up with be careful when you go outside, no, watch this and watch. We're constantly being fed a lot of watch out, be careful, don't, even for me, when my kids are walking out the door, mom, we're leaving, there's that initial habit, because the only word I can use, to say, oh, be careful, drive safe, because that's what my mom used to say to me. And I have to stop myself and say, have a great time, sending you love and blessings, and send them a wave of energy, positive protection, of manifesting negativity in their life, because our words are so damn powerful. So we have to be very careful of how we're using our words. And when we're not paying attention to what our mind is thinking, it comes out over and over again. And we're so unaware of what we're thinking. And I'm hoping with this channel, with this metaphysic teachings, that I can slowly break down some of these modalities, habits, um, trauma, fears that are so deeply ingrained in us, and how we can slowly release them, get rid of them, and finally find that peace and ease and comfort. And of course, follows prosperity, abundance, amazing relationships. It all starts from the premise of understanding what you are manifesting based on what you're thinking and what you're saying. So, I want to also share with you guys a affirmation so that you can take this with you this week. And it's very simple affirmation. I would guide you to say it in your mind over and over again, almost like readjusting your subconscious mind to believe it. You have to believe this and get deeper into it. And this is what it says: the God power within me is greater than any fear, doubt, or insecurity that may keeping me stuck from achieving my greatness. And so it is. And I want to read it one more time. And I want you to really pay attention. The word that says the God power within me is greater. It says greater, greater than any fear, doubt, or insecurity that may be keeping me stuck from achieving my greatness. And then you end it with so it is. And so it is. We say affirmations to as to affirm that it is already done, not in the future. Or I want peace and I want, no, it is done. From the minute you say it, it's already done because we live in the now. Now is all we have. So affirm again. Let's do that one more time. Affirm, like really, honestly, take it in and say, the God power within me is greater than any fear, doubt, or insecurity that may be keeping me stuck from achieving my greatness. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. So after this, if you haven't seen any of my posting anywhere and you just kind of joining in here, I will have a ongoing conversation if you're interested in joining me. And it's called the Transform Workshop. And in these workshops, we will dive a little deeper into the metaphysical principles to help in business and in life, to help you slowly start shifting into receiving all your God-given gifts that belongs to you, that is yours. You've earned it. You came here with it. Now all you have to do is claim it. Just ask for it and receive it. And if you're not receiving it, it's because there's a little glitch somewhere in there, and we got to get rid of that glitch. We got to get it out of there. Whatever that fear, that insecurity, whatever habits, whatever teachings we got generational from our parents, our church, our government, whatever that is, we need to start thinking for ourselves. We need to seek our own healing. We need to seek our own wellness, our own well being. And I will be using these workshops. I will also be inviting artistic guests. I'm calling them artistic because to me, anyone with a creative mind that is creating to help us move in this journey towards self fulfillment are artists. We're all artists. So I will be inviting some uh, guest artist to be part of the workshops. So once you join this group, actually, you know what? Maybe join my community called the Ophidian Society. Is a group of like-minded people where we come together to mastermind, to commune, to share ideas, to get feedback. To if this is not our networking, this is not promoting an event. This is true, honest communion, communication, sharing, learning, and growing together as a group towards this movement of advancing the evolution of human potential, because we have so much potential and we have allowed it to sit in someone else's power, and we should not allow anyone else to be in power of what is ours. So if you would like to join the community, just go to karinagfelix.com/transform, and all the information there for the community is there as well for the workshop. The workshop is free for our members, that's already on, and for our members, you could find it in our school community group. It's in the text there. And for anyone else, you can go to the website and join us right after this at 12 o'clock. We will be starting with the workshop in Zoom, so get your link. And I look forward to seeing you next week. And please comment and let me know if there's anything that you would like to share, or an experience that you've had having. If you are actually living in South Florida, every third Thursday of the month, we meet in downtown West Palm Beach. And again, it's just to commune, meet people one on one, have great conversations, share our life stories and our journey. And again, all of that information is on my website. I will try to add it to the YouTube description once I upload this to YouTube. And looking forward to hearing from you, your feedback, your comments. And I thank you for your time. I send you with love, with blessings, healing, and ease and peace. And thank you very much for this opportunity. May God bless you And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.